that's what's going to happen to really, wake a lot of people up. What do you see that might be? Do you have any clues or any ideas?
Okay, well, I know that there's a lot of chatter about an event involving the sun.
Yeah.
That may or may not happen. However, there has to be a foundation for everyone first, so that so when that event happens, if it's a real event, we won't know till it happens, to give everyone some grounding. They have to have at least some information so that they can ground what has just happened to them. Leaps in consciousness, maybe the growth of a third strand of DNA, and now suddenly they have superpowers, what we would call superpowers. Everybody needs some grounding first as to what that is. And there has been conversation amongst the Andromedans with other star systems, star nations. One of the things that they talked about was that they would, within a 24-hour period, they would give everyone a dream on the dark side of the planet. And as the dark side went into light, the other side of the planet, they would give them the same dream. Everybody would have the exact same dream. And in essence, it would be a download of our history and the history of our cultures, so that when everyone woke up after that 24-hour period, we would all have the exact same information. And the idea would be to generate conversation, get everyone talking to each other about this. And I don't know the specifics of how the information would be laid out, but it would be specifically designed to trigger a higher self response in the body. Okay, in other words, trigger your memory, your DNA memory of who you are. It would be designed to do that. Now, of course, you're going to have reactions all across the board, depending upon one's maturity. But nonetheless, an event like this may be necessary, because we're not going to get the help from the powers that be. Not only are they just not going to do it, but even they themselves have lost their own way. They've lost their own way to the point where now all they're concerned about is maintaining power. And it doesn't matter how. So, they're off the reservation as well. But humanity is still asking the question internally and even outwardly, where are we going with this? We hear the media, the earth is sick, the atmosphere is terrible, we're killing the planet. So now 7 billion of us have to die. And that's the message. They're actually messaging this to humanity. What are you telling the young people? That life isn't worth living now? That's the messaging. I mean, these kids, they may have their own way of thinking, but they're not stupid either. So the messaging is, you don't have any value. To the middle class, to the Middle Ages, you've had a good life up until now, but sorry, the planet can't support you. And to the elderly, you've survived world wars, pestilence, all this other stuff. And now that you've acquired all this wisdom, we have to ask you to be the first to go, because you're old and you can't make a financial contribution anymore. So basically what they're telling society, the planet as a whole, is that we have no value. And yet we don't know who they are that's actually telegraphing the message. We don't know, right? So, this is all swirling in everybody's subconscious at this point. And it's a disaster. And, they've made everything right for this fake second coming, this, hey, let's have someone come in and be the savior and who's going to tell us everything that we have to do. And, I can tell you that at least the A's have told me that that is not how a society survives.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody coming in and telling them what to do. In their opinion, the way to solve the world's problems is to point out all the inconsistencies, to point out the fact that you do not know your true selves of where you come from and what you represent. And if you worry, if you are all in a state of worry, then you clearly don't understand the situation you're in. Because in their opinion, worry is a bully. It never gives back. All it does is suck the joy out of being in the moment, any moment. And it pains them to see so many people live their lives full of worry, because all it does is exhaust you. And there is no solution whatsoever to be found in worry.